was a BMW E30 coupe that was abandoned in a bush for 18 years and I've been restoring it.
And in the last video, we started removing all the rust from the front end, which was going pretty well until we removed this small welded in patch that was on the frame rail. Unfortunately, this rust has spread too far and is beyond repairable. So I did the logical thing.
I bought myself a new E30.
But before you freak out, the coupe is not going anywhere.
I only need this E30 estate for one thing and then it's gonna be gone. I promise. And what it is in here.
The E30 came in 3 variants. The coupe, which is what I have, a 4-door saloon, and an estate, which is what my new car is. And all of these cars have one thing in common. The front ends are all the same. So this is my plan.
So essentially, I'm going to be taking the left front end off, the right front end off, then take the whole front end off the Touring and swap.
I know this plan sounds absolutely insane, and I mean, admittedly it is, but I do have the BMW repair manual with me, which goes into detail about how to remove and replace all of the panels I'll be doing. But this is my first time ever doing anything like this, and it doesn't help that I can't even cut in a straight line.
You're gonna be happy it's cut. Like, it's not the straightest, it's not squiggly, like it's not a squiggly line, but it's not straight. Like if you put what's it called, a leveler on there, you'd be a bit crooked, the bubble would be out of the black lines. But it's definitely a line that's cut. That's better, that's better, that's better. When I hold it straight, the line goes straight.
Oh, really?
Yes, really.
And I know what you're thinking right now. It looks like I'm just about to grind and cut off the whole front end and then just weld a new one on from that cut.
There you go. No more sparks hitting your face.
That would be similar to something they used to do back in the day called cut and sharp, where they would get a car that's damaged on the front end and then get a car that's damaged on the rear end and then take the 2 good parts and put them together to make one good car. But not only is that illegal, but it makes the car dangerously weak. So we have to do this the long way. The very, very long way actually.
I think I've cut all the line welds, seam welds, but I'm just gonna check with the chisel and hammer if I've missed anything. I don't know about that one. Am I not hitting hard enough or am I not cutting enough? Because the next stage of cutting this enough is cutting through it. I'm being dead ass serious.
This piece that I've been cutting is actually called the wheelhouse support cover, and according to the actual BMW repair manual, I do have to cut it in this way to reveal something called spot welds. You're going to be hearing a lot of that in this video.
Literally, this is the only thing holding this on now. And then you've got this weld here and this weld here to cut after. We're getting there.
Getting there.
This whole car is put together with a bunch of metal parts that are overlapping each other, which are basically stuck together by 2 types of welds: seam welds or spot welds.
See that pop open? Do you see it pop?
And that's because I just drilled out a spot weld. Thirsty.
Yes! I'm confident now. Okay. That middle bit is definitely released now.
Okay.
Now
okay.
it could just be the seam sealer.
It's like it's connected here. Don't tell me there's going to be spot welds under that as well.
Surely not, surely not. We don't think so. Let's just try pop it. Ah! So that is the only connection point on the left. And I'm pretty sure the left must be a spot weld. Yeah. What the hell? That's fine. Should be.
Is it?
No, that's fine. We're replacing that part with that.
Are we?
We are. Are we getting a new one? We're getting this one new.
Yes.
That's fine then. So you don't even need to take that. Look, it's off. Done. You didn't even need to take it off. It's off. Look, that bent basically.
So that.
But that is getting replaced.
That is still connected here then.
Yeah.
With spot welds underneath.
Yes.
So on the new one, we have to make sure that we drill those out.
Yes.
So the plan for this repair is to drill out and cut out every single factory weld on the front end and then weld in the new front end following the same steps like they would have done in the factory. This will not only make the car a lot stronger and safer, but it will also make the car legal, which is very important.
It's actually time.
It should just drop down.
Like I actually said this 3 times.
See what I mean? If you just cut that.
So now with the cover off, we have access to all 3 areas where the front of the car is connected to the rest of the car. And we're going to start off up here, right next to the firewall.
Look at that.
To be honest, if I wasn't following the BMW repair manual, it would be very hard to find some of these spot welds. If you look at this piece of metal here, it's so old and you can barely see where they could even be. But because of the repair manual, we do have a slight idea of where the spot welds should be, so it's making the process a lot easier. And just like that, the first point of connection has been removed. So now we can move on to area number 2, which is where the lower half of the firewall meets what's left of the inner wheel arch.
There's a lot of rust in this section here. If you have a look at the floor plan and the jacking point, like there's genuinely sizes like this of rust coming off. But for once, the rust is doing me a favor. It's basically rusted out so many spot welds that it's already disconnected. All along here would have been loads of spot welds to drill, but literally it's rusted away already.
So that means I can pretty quickly move on to the spot welds that connect the frame rails to the firewall. But that's not the only area where the frame rails are connected, so that brings us on to connection point number 3, where frame rail meets frame rail.
The frame rails, there's 3 sections. The first section, which is rusty, the middle section, which is rusty, and then the third section is the one that goes all the way under the car. Luckily for me, they're actually not rusty on my car. Can you believe it?
Just the third section.
Yeah, just the third section, but the first and second are. So now, everything is actually disconnected, except for the second frame rail with the third.
Well, the frame rail itself.
Yeah, I got to disconnect where I want the frame rail to break up. There's going to be a lot of spot welds here, here, and here. 3 at the bottom apparently, which is why I'm on the floor, and then a bunch on the other side. Them being spot welded out should mean this whole crazy section can come off.
And at this point, everything's starting to feel a little bit more real, because once I drill out these spot welds, there is no turning back. They are pretty much the most structural point of the whole car, and I mean, I guess there was no turning back before this anyway, but after this now, there is no room for error. So the pressure is really on. And talking of pressure, you can see the front end is starting to wiggle a little bit and move around, but there was still something holding it down. So we went over every single spot weld and seam weld just to drill a little bit more deeper and make sure every single area is free, because you would really be surprised of how strong a small spot weld can be. And just like that, after going through everything one more time, eventually the front end was wiggling off even more.
Yeah. Come on, come on. Yes! It's out! Oh my god, that looks so weird.
And I know that it looks like the car's looking worse, but somehow to me, I'm feeling a lot better about the car. To me, with every piece of rust that comes off, it just feels like a big step in the right direction. And I guess I'll feel even better when this side is off, because this area is by far the rustiest area of the whole car. And it even had me thinking at one point, would I be able to complete the whole car? So when this is off, if I'm able to fix it, I'm pretty confident I can finish this whole car.
Oh my god! It's off! My car has no frame rails right now. Well, it only has the back one, but look, no front end.
If you haven't subscribed already, a milestone like this is pretty worthy of a subscribe.
Now it's time to pay attention to the temporary E30, the E30 estate. Obviously, I am going to be taking the whole front end of this and welding it back into that E30, and I'll explain how I'm going to be doing that later on, but there is a method to my madness. For now though, there's actually things I need to remove to even get to the area. The car came with an interior. The dash needs to go.
Well, semi-interior.
A lot actually, I think so. I've one driver's seat that needs to go. Front suspension needs to go. I got to strip this car a little bit first, and then we can remove the front end of this. And then I'll have 2 front-endless E30s.
To be honest, this feels like a bit of deja vu because I have done this all before. I stripped my E30 already, so I know what I'm doing here. But the only difference this time is that I'm actually doing it with a lift, which kind of feels surreal. It's making the job a lot more easier to do, And I just want to thank you all for being here and supporting me along the journey, because without you guys, I would not be here lifting this car up on the lift with 2 rusty cars. Thanks, guys.
You look like you're taking a shit.
I don't pull that face when I take a shit.
What face do you pull?
I don't take shit, I'm a girl.
Oh, really?
Girls don't poop. Ah! I'm okay. I actually am. I just made the sound effect because I was happy. Yeah, I just got hit by a shot. Like straight up. Smacked in the face. Am I okay? I feel it.
You look okay.
I feel really good now, actually. I think I needed that slap.
It's already this big.
Yeah. Oh, what the hell? That was so easy, yeah? Best job ever. I think that slap got me good, you know.
Oh, really? It'll wake you up, yeah?
Do I have a mark on my cheek? Be honest.
Nah.
And that's under 10 tons of makeup as well, showing through.
10 tons?
So, am I going to end up with a bruise?
Yes.
So after showing the car who's really boss, it's time to drop the whole subframe. And the reason I'm doing this is because the subframe is connected to the frame rails, which of course I need to remove the whole front end. So it needs to come off. And to do that, I have to remove 2 bolts on either side that's connected the lower control arm to the frame rail.
Nice. I think the jack sensors are holding up, to be honest.
And then also another 2 bolts that's connecting the subframe to the frame rail.
Okay. It's out.
So in theory now, when you lift the car, the subframe should stay on the floor. What are you doing?
Let's see. Ready? Keep an eye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy!
Yes! It's off!
Yeah, I think I need to get slapped more often because I've never worked this fast in my life before. It could be the slap or it could be the lift. I don't know, but I'm going Spider-Man mode. No, I'm going Lightning McQueen. No, Lightning McQueen mode.
Subframe is out the way. Next up is this metal tray here. Has to go. And so does this foam thing. I'm assuming it's all heat shielding. Insulation, all of that stuff. But they need to go. Oh, freaking hell. Yeah, we've got to remove all these lines.
Because they're all the way in the way of the frame rail. Right.
Exactly. Literally, you can see. Nothing I haven't had before.
So after eating a dirt sandwich, it's time to remove all the insulation that's covering the transmission tunnel and the firewall. And to do that, it's just a bunch of 10mm nuts and a couple clips.
Right?
It's just the lines now, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then of course, I can remove the brake lines and fuel lines, which, to be honest, I don't need to be careful with because I don't need them. So they just need to get out my freaking way. Same as the wiring harness, I already have one, so I don't need to keep this one. And then just a bunch of other things like the bonnet latch needs to go.
Fuse box we need to remove.
You sound so healthy.
I'm actually
right
getting ill. I think I'm getting cold. But I'm gonna finish the job. I don't care.
Yeah, turns out I was actually really ill, guys. I think I had that new COVID variant. It wasn't great. But on a really positive side, taking off this cover for the heater core revealed just how clean my new donor car is.
That is clean behind there. Compared to mine, like, that
We'll
is
be taking
so
a lot
clean.
of that.
Yeah, I got my eyes on that.
And it wasn't only that area that was in much better condition.
Nice. I know. My new battery tray is looking amazing.
And now one of the last things we have to do is strip the interior to get access to the firewall and all the spot welds that are on there.
Do I need to keep this chair?
Not really.
Not
no.
necessarily, right?
I mean, the floor would be nice not to scratch up, but hey, you know,
The floor's
that's...
literally got scratches like indented in it.
And whilst Rob gets on with removing the windscreen and all the other bits around the area, I crack on with removing the dash, and also we pull back the carpet to get access to the firewall. And just like that, the front end is ready to come off. Well, nearly.
Okay, now the new E30 is completely stripped. I have taken a lot of measurements. I mean a lot. In every place I could, I took measurements with my new 500-pound tool, which I don't know where it is. Where is it? There. Yeah, I used that to the full extent. And that's just because when I put this front end on my new E30, I want to measure again the same spots I just measured and check that it's the same. So double check I haven't warped it or whatever. So, to even double check again that I'm not gonna warp the whole front end when I take this front end off, I have a plan. I am now gonna be building a little jig or table to support the whole front end of this so that when I take it off, it will maintain the shape. Essentially, I'm gonna be doing like a bar between both frame rails, a bar between the wheel arches, inner wheel arches. Did it say?
Yeah.
Inner wheel arches, the strut towers. Strut towers.
Yeah, that's it.
And also bars from the actual front end to the floor as like a table. To make it just as seamless as possible, try avoid any issues of reshaping, resizing, because when I'm removing this metal, it's making the whole panel weaker. So I'm basically trying to add some more strength with these bars.
Because we're going across side to side.
It shouldn't go in and out like that.
Or up and down.
Up and down. So we need to think about the ways it can move, exactly, and cover our arses in that department. All right, so right now I'm going to wire wheel exactly where I want to put the bars so that the material is clean to weld to. Bye-bye now.
On my coupe, I removed the front sections off separately, removed one side and then the other side. However, on my donor car, I'm removing the front section off all as one piece, which is why I'm building the jig. And the reason I'm doing this is to make it easier to weld the front end back onto my coupe. Think of it this way, when the front end is off as one piece, all you have to line up is the front end with the rest of the car to make sure it's straight. But if I took off everything individually, like I did with the coupe, there would be a lot more things that I'd have to line up, meaning there's a lot more room for error. And one small mistake could mean that the car will be bent forever.
We're gonna have a bar going from here to here and here to straight away keep the distance between the two frame rails the same so they don't go in on each other. We're gonna have a bar from the shock tower to the other shock tower like this because obviously there's height and keeping them two from coming in from each other. Then we will be doing diagonal bars between all of these three bars to basically stop it from going like sideways to keep that. And at the back, we do not have one because we will need this section to remove the battery tray.
But if you put a bar there, you can't get to the spot welds on the battery tray.
Exactly. What is this? BMW tab. When I actually get to taking off the front end, I'm going to start by removing this section to straight away put a bar in. Because imagine I start removing all the way down here.
Oh, it's just the battery tray.
Yeah, it's just the... Who remembers the battery tray? Me. So right now, I think the next step is only logical to cut the bars to size.
And because of how important this is, I decided to hand over the measuring job to Robert, because I am not the most accurate person on this planet. And after Rob marked where I need to cut the bars, I got on to cutting them and resizing them a couple times just to make sure the bars fit really snug between the frame rails. And finally, it was time for my first weld.
Oh, I made a bit of pigeon shit because I was too far.
That didn't really go well. And neither did the second one.
What was that? Oh, I blew a hole! I blew a hole in our new frame rail.
But the more welds that I started to do, the more I was getting the hang of it. And to be honest, it was pretty easy to do that. Because of the welder I was using, the Artec MIG 181 welder has an easy weld setting, which obviously I was using because it removes all the guesswork for you. All you have to do is tell it some information about what you're welding and it literally sets it all up for you. It doesn't get easier than that.
Okay, there's a couple, there's one on one side with the hole through it and then this one is not on one corner. But I do think it's still strong enough to hold it.
And trust me, if I'm able to do some welds that are strong enough, you definitely would be able to as well. So if you want to pick up yourself a little project and you're going to need to be doing some welding, make sure you get yourself an Artec welder and you can use Laura 5 for a little discount too. Thank you Artec, you guys are amazing. And just like that, I have now welded 3 bars into the car, which are stopping the frame rails from coming too close to each other or too far apart from each other. But I also need to stop the front end from twisting. So I'm going to need to weld in some diagonal bars, which in theory, these diagonal bars should be a lot easier to do. But the tight angles were not doing me any favors.
Oh my god, it feels so frustrating. Like when I'm welding in easy places, so like overhead or like when I can actually see it, I feel like I was decent at it. There's a lot of things in the way, like this whole cross section here is in the way, and I have to go like, I'm trying to figure out the best way. Do I go a bar? Do I put my arm through here? Do I put my arm through here? And then not only which angle I can see the best, but in which way can I see what I'm welding? Because I've got this really tight gap here, where the cross section is in the bar, there's like a tiny gap between. And when the nozzle's there, you can't see what you're welding. Shit, I gotta learn somehow.
Something I really struggled with during my welding lesson, and that I'm still struggling with now, is my nerves. Even though I have all this protective clothing on, I still think that somehow I'm gonna weld my hands to the bar. It doesn't make any sense, but my brain thinks it does.
That was a lot better than the other side. Now I'm actually in a position where I can see the line and get to the angle a bit better. I think I was too far away from what I'm welding because I'm still a bit nervous, to be honest. So I guess I'm building confidence.
Nervous?
I'm extremely nervous.
Put shit in your pants. More like crying.
I should probably check my pants after this.
But after hyping myself up a little bit,
Well, now that's gonna hold something.
This is like, if I fall on my back right now.
the welds might not be the prettiest,
I mean, you're hanging off it.
but they're definitely strong enough. So with that confidence boost, I went around finishing up welding in the diagonal bars.
Alright, we're actually getting there with this jig right now. So, I have now got the diagonal bars in place to stop it shifting left to right. So there's one little piece, like one little addition I want to add to this table, jig. Well, I said table because I actually am making it a table now. That's the next thing. I'm adding some legs. Why, you may ask? Because when I take the whole front end off, it won't like drop or go anywhere. It will just simply sit back on the table legs that I've made. And then, when it goes to putting this front end on my E30, I can simply put it here on this table. And because I measured the height of this E30 and that E30, I've made the length of my legs slightly shorter than how this E30 is sitting right now.
So this is the highest point of the quick jacks.
Yes. So that means that when I bring my table here, I can drop, actually I'll probably drop my E30 fully down.
Yeah.
Then I'll bring the table here,
Yeah.
and then I'll line it up, and then I'll lift the E30 up onto it. Because if you look here, this is the frame rails, and then the third or final, first, whatever, depends where you're looking at, the next part of the frame rail starts by sitting inside.
Because there's really and truly, like I was looking at this is the only place you can really clamp that front end onto. Other than that, you can't clamp it onto anything. That's kind of also why this table's so important.
Yeah, it's important. Okay, let's get these bars welded in, and then we can move on to removing the front end of my new E30, of my next E30.
It's crazy what new skills that you start to learn when you actually start doing things. At the beginning of this project, I thought that welding was some sort of dark art that only wizards do. And look at me now, I'm also a wizard.
But that looks good.
Why was I rubbing my
I don't know, but that's a really good weld.
Yeah, I'm getting good. Yeah.
I guess it just goes to show, if you ever want to get good at something, all you gotta do is keep doing that thing, and you'll get there.
That will also not win a beauty contest, but it's attached.
Oh my god.
What? You said you didn't want it to move. This one looks pretty good. It looked like to me, like you just stuck some dimes.
Stack some dimes.
Seriously.
Look at you getting it. Okay. Mate.
That looks quite flat as well.
And it's crazy to think, literally just yesterday, I was so nervous that I'd weld my hand on what I'm welding. And now I'm stacking dimes. Well, I don't really know what I'm talking about completely, but it just goes to show, guys, if you ever want to do anything, do it. Don't be scared to fail. I do it all the time.
Wow. This is my first little project built with my welder. I'm pretty happy with that.
And now it's time to move on to one of the things I was dreading the most, removing the battery tray. If you remember, on my last video, I had to remove the battery tray on my coupe, and it took me a whole day to do. That's because the battery tray has over 100 spot welds on it. I'm pretty sure that's more than the whole front end. I mean, how heavy is a battery? Why does there need to be so many spot welds holding it in? Luckily, I don't need to remove all of the spot welds. I only need to remove the ones that are connecting to the rest of the car. But unfortunately for me, all the ones that I do need to remove are in awkward spots. And whilst I'm working on removing the dreaded battery tray, Robert is removing the wheelhouse covers at the same time just to speed things up.
That's it, surely. Yeah,
Yeah, buddy.
And finally, with the wheelhouse covers out of the way, I can now move on to removing the wheelhouses themselves by drilling out all of the spot welds that connect it to the firewall. But then, Robert delivered me some bad news.
Go have a look in the wheel well that I've prepped for you with a light already. Just go have a look.
Oh, hell no. Are you saying there's more spot welds underneath that were rusted out of my car? That's where they came off?
Yes.
Okay.
It's not that bad.
You've fucked me off there. You really raised my blood pressure. Because I just thought you were going to show me a massive hole.
No.
More spot welds. That's just my life. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, more spot welds. Now can I tell them about the bar after that panic attack?
Oh yeah,
You just
I
given
forgot
me?
about that bar as well.
But basically, I waffled a lot earlier on that I'm going to be adding an extra bar at the very top once I remove the battery tray. However, obviously, I was an eager beaver, carried on removing all the spot welds and forgot to do that extra bar.
And there's no point welding it in now because that's already been moved.
Connected and moved. It's
You
got
only
the-
really have this to line up. It's not that much.
Yeah, you better not comment some hate about it right now, because I'm just too far gone in this. Don't tell me any bad news about this front end.
I really hope that forgetting to weld in that bar will not mess me up when I go to put this front end back on my coupe, because I'm already so far in this and that's the last thing I need. But hey, it is what it is, so I'm just gonna continue.
Have it just demolished. I'm struggling right now. I have it in. Drill's hitting on top, the box is here, and on top
And this
of
extension is wobbling as
wobbling, so I have to hold the extension, which is then blocking my vision as well.
And then I've got this vision here.
My fingertips are burning from holding the drill bit, and my bicep. This is why I don't have to do arm day in the gym. I'm doing it right now.
At this point, it would be silly to give up, and I'm pretty sure that this project will give me a lot more challenges along the way. And yeah, I might have made a bit of a mess out of them spot welds, but hey, at least they're out, and that's all that matters. Even the spot welds on the firewall are harder on this car, because they're not rusted out, which is a good thing, but it means there's a lot more spot welds that I have to drill on the donor car. But with Robert chiseling from one side and me drilling out the spot welds from the other, we eventually got it done. And the passenger side also had its own problems. It still had sound deadening on it, but I found a little hack on how to get rid of it.
It works so well, right?
This is such a good tool.
Every time I looked on YouTube for best ways to get rid of like undersealer, everyone had ideas, but no one said multi-tool. I'm
is
telling you,
great.
if you're trying to get sound deadening, underbody sealer, this is unreal.
After removing all the sound deadening with the multi-tool and then cleaning it up with a paint stripper disc, I was able to see all the spot welds. So we did the same thing we did on the driver's side. I was removing the spot welds from one side and Robert was chiseling from the other until the whole thing became free. And then finally, it's time to do the very last thing that's holding the front end to the rest of the car, the frame rails themselves.
Pretty sure everything's disconnected now. So my plan of action is to drop the car just a little bit, see if it's connected anywhere, maybe give it a bit of a hammer, drop it further. Because right now, obviously we've got the table holding up the front end and the lift can still go lower. So I'm thinking if I drop the lift, I'm gonna drop it the front end off.
Yeah, because obviously this frame rail is going to stay at this height, and then this frame rail should lower.
Down, yeah.
In theory.
In theory, if we could have missed something. That's why I'm going gradually, because I don't want to obviously miss something and tear something off, because we need this front end. I'm a bit nervous. Okay.
Does anything happen?
I mean, yeah. Alright, wait.
I'm pretty sure I saw the front lifting. So no, that means it's still connected.
Wait, let me hammer it.
It still feels like the front end is connected somehow, but I don't know where. So I'm just going over every single spot weld that we did just to make sure we haven't missed anything and we've gone deep enough with all the spot welds. And then Robert had an idea.
What if you try to push the front end down and pull it backwards?
Why down?
Well, because then the idea is if you push it down on the frame rails, because it's like
Oh,
sitting
yeah,
inside
it's gonna
it,
peak up. It's gonna peak up.
Exactly. So if you try to push it down, nothing happens.
No, it's just because I'm light, isn't it? Lightweight.
Yeah. Try to pull it maybe?
I'll use this arse to my advantage. Sus. I think it is the bottom. I think it's the frame rail because obviously it's meant to stay wedged in there. I think it's not ready to leave yet.
There is definitely something not right about this. If all the spot welds were free, then there would be at least some movement. But right now, there's not any. So we're just going over all the spot welds, triple checking we haven't missed anything. And to me, we haven't. But to Robert, he found something.
You're not going to believe this. No. Stop right there. Stop right there. What do you think is wrong here?
I'm trying to figure out.
Right. So, you know when I punch the spot welds for you that you need to drill out? Maybe like a hole 3 along this side that someone's missed?
Remember earlier on when I told you just how strong spot welds actually are? Well, look at this. The whole reason the front end wasn't coming off is because I missed only 3 spot welds.
Set the camera on the tripod, Rob. It's about to be a mission. Put that camera down.
That's why the whole front end wasn't moving.
It's happening, guys! It's happening, guys!
You see, this is exactly the reason I'm doing it the proper way.
Yeah, pull it back.
Huh?
Pull it back.
Oh!
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
The table's not up.
That's why it's not up. Go!
Oh my god! Wait, move up. Oh my god!
Now that's what we're talking about.
Table and front end!
Now, this has to be my greatest accomplishment yet. I thought removing an engine was pretty cool, but this is the best one yet. I just hope I can put it on properly, and then it really will be a signed and sealed deal. This is the coolest thing I've ever done.
And the front end is finally off. Look at how crazy this is. Like, it literally looks like an E30 table. Well, it is. And the table I made is holding up pretty well, actually. I could probably eat my dinner off it.
I mean, it's a bit uneven, but hey.
I'm proud of it. I guess the next thing to do is put this front end on my E30, but there's actually a lot of rust to sort out before I do that. So I'll catch you in the next video.
What's the sniff?
I just fired, so
No, did you really?
yeah.
Smells good.
It's, I think